What if I told you that some of America's most beloved stars died carrying secrets they were too afraid to share? In the next 13 minutes, you're going to discover the heartbreaking stories of 13 iconic celebrities whose lives were cut short by AIDS, a disease that claimed not just their lives, but forced them to live in the shadows of their own fame. From the legendary frontman of Queen to Hollywood's most famous TV dad, these weren't just statistics. They were artists, activists, and icons who shaped our culture while battling a disease that society refused to understand. Their stories reveal the devastating cost of stigma, secrecy, and a world that wasn't ready to accept who they really were. Freddie Mercury, the voice that conquered the world. 03130. Freddie Mercury wasn't just Queen's frontman. He was a musical phenomenon whose 4-octave range captivated millions worldwide. Born Farrokh Bulsara in Zanzibar, Mercury kept his private life hidden, including relationships with Mary Austin and Jim Hutton. In 1987, he received his devastating HIV diagnosis but kept it secret, continuing to create music. His final years were incredibly productive, working on Queen's Innuendo album. On November 23, 1991, Mercury finally confirmed his AIDS diagnosis publicly. Just 24 hours later, he passed away from bronchopneumonia at age 45. The music world mourned one of its brightest stars. Mercury's legacy lives on through the Mercury Phoenix Trust, fighting AIDS worldwide since 1992. His courage in those final moments helped bring awareness to a misunderstood disease that claimed countless lives. Rock Hudson, Hollywood's golden boy's hidden truth. 130-230. Rock Hudson embodied the Hollywood leading man, 6'5" with chiseled features perfect for the silver screen. Rising to fame in the 1950s with Magnificent Obsession and Giant, Hudson became America's heartthrob while living a carefully constructed lie. His 1955 marriage to Phyllis Gates was revealed as a sham to silence sexuality rumors. Behind closed doors, Hudson hosted legendary pool parties for Hollywood's gay community. In 1984, he was diagnosed with AIDS, initially keeping it secret. On July 25, 1985, Hudson became the first major celebrity to publicly announce his AIDS diagnosis, sending shockwaves through Hollywood. His courage put a familiar face on a misunderstood disease. Hudson passed away October 2, 1985, at age 59, helping destigmatize AIDS for millions of Americans who finally saw the disease affecting someone they knew and loved. Pedro Zamora, the reality star who changed everything. 230-330. Pedro Zamora wasn't just a reality TV star. He was a trailblazer who educated millions about HIV/AIDS. Born in Cuba in 1972, Zamora immigrated to Miami at age 8, finding family acceptance for his sexuality. At 17, he discovered he was HIV positive, but chose education over hiding. Traveling across America, Zamora spoke at schools and community centers, breaking down barriers with charisma and openness. In 1994, MTV cast him in The Real World San Francisco, making him one of the first openly gay men with HIV featured in popular media. His commitment ceremony with partner Sean Sasser was groundbreaking television. Tragically, Zamora's health declined rapidly during filming. Just hours after his final episode aired, he passed away November 11, 1994, at only 22. President Clinton praised him for teaching America that AIDS has a human face. Liberace, Mr. Showmanship's greatest performance. 330-430. Liberace was the definition of showmanship, a pianist whose performances were spectacles of excess, complete with elaborate costumes and candelabras. His famous catchphrase, "I don't give concerts, I put on a show." Born in Wisconsin in 1919, he rose to fame in the 1950s with his flamboyant persona. Despite obvious flamboyance, Liberace steadfastly denied being gay, even successfully suing the British Daily Mirror in 1956 for implying his homosexuality. Behind the scenes, he lived with Scott Thorson for 5 years, until their dramatic breakup led to a $113 million palimony lawsuit. As the AIDS crisis unfolded, Liberace's health visibly declined, yet he continued denying any connection to the disease, claiming he was on a watermelon diet. He gave his final performance at Radio City Music Hall November 2, 1986. Months later, February 4, 1987, he passed away, with autopsy confirming AIDS-related pneumonia at age 67. Robert Reed, America's TV Dad's Secret Struggle, 430-530. Robert Reed became America's beloved TV father as Mike Brady on The Brady Bunch, dispensing wisdom with gentle smiles. Born in 1932, Reed's 1954 marriage ended after he confided about his homosexuality. But career fears kept him closeted throughout his TV dad years. Behind the scenes, Reed was a perfectionist who clashed with show creators over script quality, taking his father figure role seriously. His TV children spoke about cultural outings Reed organized beyond the set. In 1991, Reed was diagnosed with colon cancer, with medical records later revealing he was also HIV positive. On May 12, 1992, at age 59, Robert Reed passed away. While his death certificate listed colon cancer as primary cause, HIV-related complications likely played a significant role. His death sparked conversations about stigma and secrecy in entertainment, revealing the impossible position many gay actors faced during that era. Keith Haring, the artist who made AIDS visible, 530 to 630. Keith Haring transformed 1980s New York streets into his canvas, creating bold, vibrant art synonymous with social activism. Born in Pennsylvania in 1958, Haring found his calling drawing with white chalk on subway panels, bringing distinctive dancing figures to the masses. His art wasn't just decorative, it was revolutionary, addressing gay rights and AIDS awareness through same-sex couples and explicit critiques of homophobia. As fame grew, so did his activism, using his platform to fight discrimination. In 1987, Haring received his devastating HIV diagnosis, but threw himself into work with renewed vigor. He established the Keith Haring Foundation to fund AIDS organizations and children's programs, ensuring his legacy would continue fighting the disease. Haring's AIDS battle was short, but incredibly productive. He passed away in 1990 at just 31, leaving behind vibrant murals and iconic figures that remain powerful symbols of love, unity, and the ongoing fight against HIV/AIDS. Anthony Perkins, Norman Bates's Real-Life Secrets, 630-730. Anthony Perkins became forever linked with Norman Bates from Psycho, but his real life was equally complex. Born in 1932 to actor Osgood Perkins, Anthony's career began with an Oscar nomination for Friendly Persuasion and a Billboard hit song. His portrayal of the mentally disturbed motel owner both catapulted him to stardom and typecast him for years. Behind the scenes, Perkins struggled with his sexuality when being openly gay could destroy Hollywood careers. He had a well-publicized relationship with Tab Hunter in the 1950s, though both kept their romance secret. Perkins underwent therapy, attempting to overcome his attraction to men, and in 1973 married photographer Barry Berenson, fathering 2 sons. In the late 1980s, he learned of his HIV diagnosis from a tabloid story rather than his doctor. Perkins passed away September 12, 1992, from AIDS-related pneumonia at age 60, keeping his illness private until the end. Rudolph Nureyev, the ballet revolutionary, 730-830. Rudolph Nureyev was more than a dancer. He revolutionized ballet and captured the world's imagination. Born on a trans-Siberian train in 1938, Nureyev's journey from Soviet poverty to international stardom was extraordinary. His dramatic 1961 defection to the West while touring with the Kirov Ballet was a Cold War sensation. In the West, Nureyev's career soared, partnering with Dame Margot Fonteyn, forming one of history's most famous dance partnerships. Their Romeo and Juliet and Swan Lake performances became legendary. Nureyev wasn't content with just performing. He wanted to reshape ballet itself, challenging traditional gender roles and insisting on substantial parts for male dancers. His intense athletic style brought new energy to classical ballet, attracting younger audiences. In later years, Nureyev was open about his relationships with men and continued working despite declining health. He passed away January 6, 1993, at age 54 from AIDS-related complications, leaving an indelible mark on dance and popular culture. Howard Ashman, Disney's lyrical genius, 83930. Howard Ashman was the wordsmith behind Disney's most beloved songs, helping usher in the Disney Renaissance. Born in Baltimore in 1950, Ashman's love for musical theater began early, writing shows in his parents' basement. His path to Disney started on Broadway with Little Shop of Horrors, written with composer Alan Menken. In 1986, Disney brought the duo aboard for The Little Mermaid, resulting in spectacular songs like Under the Sea and Part of Your World that became instant classics. During Beauty and the Beast production, Ashman was diagnosed with AIDS, yet continued working despite declining health. Many songs took on deeper meanings. The Mob song with lyrics, "We don't like what we don't understand," became his metaphor for AIDS stigma. His final project was Aladdin, writing lyrics for Arabian Nights before passing away March 14, 1991, at age 40. Beauty and the Beast included the touching dedication to our friend Howard, who gave a mermaid her voice. Wade Dominguez, The Rising Star Cut Short, 9/30/10/30. Wade Dominguez was a name just beginning to light up Hollywood when fate intervened. Born in 1966 in California to Mexican and French heritage, Dominguez's striking looks served him well in entertainment. Before hitting the big screen, he worked as a go-go dancer, expressing his love for performance. His big break came in 1995 with Dangerous Minds, playing Emilio Ramirez, a tough student who softens under Michelle Pfeiffer's guidance. Dominguez showed real talent, with his raw performance catching critics and audiences' attention. Following Dangerous Minds, he appeared in City of Industry and The Taxman, showcasing his versatility and hinting at a promising career. Behind the scenes, Dominguez fought a private battle, diagnosed with AIDS, but keeping this secret in a world where labels could break careers. He wanted recognition for talent, not illness. On August 26, 1998, at just 32, he passed away from respiratory failure caused by AIDS, shocking an industry unaware of his condition. Ed Koch, New York's complicated mayor, 10/30/11/30. Ed Koch brought his trademark phrase, "How am I doing?" to New York City Hall, serving as mayor from 1978 to 1989 during challenging times. Born in the Bronx in 1924, Koch's journey from World War II veteran to mayor was as colorful as the city he led. He took office facing financial crisis and high crime, helping turn around city finances and sparking economic revival. However, his handling of the AIDS epidemic became the most contentious part of his legacy. As AIDS ravaged New York's gay community, activists like Larry Kramer criticized Koch for inadequate response, with some calling him complicit in gay men's deaths. The criticism was pointed because of persistent rumors about Koch's own sexuality, which he never publicly addressed during his lifetime. After his 2013 death, longtime friend Charles Kaiser confirmed Koch was indeed gay. Despite controversies, Koch had introduced anti-discrimination legislation and increased AIDS funding. He passed away February 1, 2013 at age 88, leaving behind a complex legacy. These 13 stories represent just a fraction of the talented individuals we lost to AIDS. each carrying the weight of secrecy, stigma, and a society that wasn't ready to accept them. From Freddie Mercury's soaring vocals to Pedro Zamora's educational mission, from Rock Hudson's Hollywood glamour to Keith Haring's revolutionary art, these weren't just casualties of a disease, they were pioneers who shaped our culture while fighting for their lives. Their stories remind us that behind every statistic was a human being with dreams, talents, and the desire to be loved and accepted for who they truly were. Many died carrying secrets they were too afraid to share, living double lives in an era when authenticity could cost everything. Today, as we continue fighting HIV/AIDS worldwide, we honor their memory not just by remembering how they died, but by celebrating how they lived, creating art, breaking barriers, and paving the way for future generations to live more openly and authentically. Their legacy lives on in every song that moves us, every performance that inspires us, and every step forward in the ongoing fight for equality and understanding. They may be gone, but their impact on our world remains immeasurable.